All right, let's do buy, sell, or hold now. Joe Biden's best line of the night was his first line of the evening.
Absolutely. Buy, buy, buy. This is how Joe opened up his speech last night.
If I were smart, I'd go home now.
But, of course, he's not, so he didn't go home. But he should have gone home because it was all downhill from there. That was by far Joe Biden's best line of the night.
If I were smart, I'd go home now.
I think I'll start doing that every morning at like 6:15 if I have a banger opening monologue. I'm just going to get out of here at like 6:15. You guys carry the next 3 hours and 45 minutes, and I'll go home.
The sound of the mic dropping means the end of the show.
Yeah, you better tune in, 6 a.m. Set the alarm, like a bunch of our listeners admitted to doing this morning. Catch the opening 10, 12 minutes, and then...
if I were smart, I'd go home now.
I'm going home after that. So you better catch it Monday morning at 6. If I knock it out of the park, I'm out. See you later. What's next, John?
Buy, sell, or hold. Nancy Pelosi being upset with Biden over his Lake and Riley comments.
Oh, man.
Naming her.
Oh, my goodness. Well, selling that. Did you see Pelosi? So if you haven't seen it or heard it yet, this is really the moment that's going to stand out. Joe Biden getting heckled by Marjorie Taylor Greene over his inability to say Lake and Riley. I almost pulled a Biden there. He said Lincoln Riley, who is the head football coach at USC, who used to be at Oklahoma. You know, he's a backstabbing, overrated college football coach, Lincoln Riley. Laken Riley is the young woman who was tragically killed on a running trail at the University of Georgia by an illegal immigrant, Jose Ibarra. So here is that moment last night. Then we'll play Nancy Pelosi's reaction to that moment.
I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln!
An innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how?
No, Lincoln Riley is a guy who doesn't know how to coach defense. That's Lincoln Riley. Laken Riley is the young woman who lost her life at the University of Georgia going out for a run at the hands of Jose Ibarra, who is only in this country because of the wide-open border policies of the guy in charge. So Nancy Pelosi on CNN last night gets asked about this, and here's what she's most offended by and upset with.
Now, you should have said undocumented, but
What?
That's not a big thing. Okay? What's the big thing about
No,
it?
I actually wasn't even going to ask about that. I was just going to ask more about the moment. But you do think that he should have said undocumented? That wasn't going to be my question.
Well, we usually say undocumented. He said
Well, why not just call them newcomers? You know, I mean, who cares about illegals and aliens and undocumented? Just call them newcomers. How about wannabes? They want to be Americans. Let's call them wannabes. What do you think of that? That's soft.
See, in my fraternity, we were plebes, I think. Pledges. So there's a variety of names we can use it.
There's a lot.
Noob.
Yeah. Noob. But instead, you've got Nancy Pelosi upset that Joe Biden called Laken Riley's killer an illegal alien. It's like when Mayor Lucas was upset that Mike Parson called the Super Bowl parade shooters thugs. It's the same thing. People are more upset about the word usage than they are the actions. And in many ways, that is, the most progressive elements of the party right now in a nutshell. They don't care about Laken Riley. They're upset that Joe Biden called the guy who's a murderer, allegedly, an illegal immigrant. I mean, how out of touch and out of whack is that? My goodness. What's next on Buy, Sell, Hold?
I like this one. Buy, sell, or hold. Chiefs re-signing linebacker Drew Tranquill. 3 years, $19 million is the report.
And $13 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Listen, I know the NFL salary cap stuff is very difficult to figure out. Where it's not like Major League Baseball where you sign a contract, that's the money you get. There's no salary cap. There's a lot of ways to toy with the NFL salary cap. But a guy like Drew Tranquill, at that kind of a contract, sounds like a deal to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, that guy had the fire, the passion. He's the perfect guy you want in that linebacking core. He's not going to be your top linebacker. He's not going to be your top defender. But on a top-ranked defense, that's the perfect, I don't want to call him a compliment because he's a starter, but that's the perfect kind of guy that you want with the perfect kind of makeup with this defensive unit. So I am buying it. How about you guys on Drew Tranquill?
You got to have the lunchbox guys, right?
Yes, and that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, I like Tranquil with Leo Chenal.
Yeah.
And then Nick Bolton as well. Those three are going to be great the next couple of years together.
And what's the deal with Willie Gay?
He's a free agent, and they weren't going to bring him back.
Oh,
year.
so he's totally done.
Yeah.
Just because he wants too much money?
Yeah. And he tweeted about it before the Super Bowl. He's like,
Yeah,
I've had fun in Kansas City.
He was busting himself out, so either he knew or wants to go.
Okay. No, that's too bad. But so now you're going to be looking at Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil, and Leo Chenal as your starting linebackers.
Maybe, probably.
I
Got the
like
draft
that.
coming.
I like that. And Bolton's still in his rookie deal, as I recall.
Yep. They could extend him this offseason, potentially.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's something they're going to have to deal with because that's the next one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good deal. Well, I love that. Buy, sell, hold in the books.